Game Talk, our first show with Sam and I, that we're going to talk a particular game topic every time. I mean, this has to be like a series, but we'll see. But for now, it's our first show because this is more like a show than a hangout, or at least we're trying to do that. The topic is Uncharted series versus Tomb Raider series. What are the differences between the two games? What we think about the games? How are our anticipations for the games? And so on. So, yeah, Sammy, let's begin.
Hello. Greetings. Okay. So, yeah, as the title implies, we're doing a game talk thing. So we're comparing Uncharted and Tomb Raider, and the characters, Nathan Drake and Lara Croft. Now, I got to report, sadly, okay, because I don't have a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. I've never played any of the Uncharted games. I played Tomb Raider, like back in the day, I think it's like early mid-90s. I think it's like more of the mid-90s, like 96, was it? The first Tomb Raider on PC, and then the second Tomb Raider, the third Tomb Raider. I played a little bit of Angel of Darkness, which was on, I think it was on PlayStation 2, because I did have that. That was not so good, but still, I never really finished it. And then the latest one that I've been playing is Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, where it was kind of like a reboot. Okay, and then the next one after that is going to be Rise of the Tomb Raider, which comes out November 10th, and I'm super, super stoked for that one. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a Let's Play of it. So very, very cool. And the only thing I know from Uncharted, really, is from what I've heard, but more importantly, it's the footage that you have shared with me with the Nathan Drake Definitive Edition. Not Definitive Edition, I'm sorry, the Nathan Drake collection, I think is what it is.
Yeah, the Nathan Drake collection.
And Uncharted 4. Just fantastic. That whole chase sequence in the Jeep and on a motorcycle, loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you like, let me start with the Tomb Raider series, and then go to Uncharted, because, Tomb Raider is the first.
Okay, right.
So we really have to touch up on that.
Sure, okay. Do you want me to start off about the Tomb Raider, or?
I will start. Yeah, I already have an idea about this.
Please, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sam. So first of all, as you know, Tomb Raider is a lot older than Uncharted. It started I don't even know where it started. In the mid-90s, I think. And the game was. All the games were so old. I'm watching old footage now. Everything is with pixels and angles and all that. But of course, that is normal. My point is that the game is really old. The franchise is really, really old. So of course, the Tomb Raider came first. It's like the question about the chicken and the egg, which came first. Well, it was Tomb Raider. But the interesting thing is, at least from what I'm taught from one of my friends that are played at those old games, and that they were so interesting, although the bad graphics and all that. So the series really was good and famous since the beginning, and I really started playing Tomb Raider from Anniversary and Legend. Actually, first Anniversary, then Legend, although Legend was the older one, and then continued throughout till now. So that is my experience with the Tomb Raider series. And then, of course, it came Uncharted. Uncharted came out, and it's very interesting, the whole situation, because Uncharted is similar to Tomb Raider. It's like the female version of Tomb Raider in a way. That's how people thought of it at the beginning. But then after the games, the first game, then the second game, everyone started to really think differently, because when you play those games, the Uncharted games, they're a whole new world. And it has nothing to do with Tomb Raider in terms of games. Yes, they are similar. Uncharted is like Indiana Jones in a way, but it does its own thing, and it's so unique and so cool. that you can't ignore it. You just you really have to
experience it.
Absolutely, yeah. Experience it. Experience it. I can talk right now. Yeah, because Uncharted, for me at least, because I've played both games, is actually the better series, although it came second, because it's much more sophisticated as a gameplay to an extent, as a story, as the way of telling the story. The graphics were really good by that time, and now with the remastered versions, they're just amazing. And just the detail in everything that you can imagine. Again, from the graphics, the details there, the details from the story, the characters, the development of the characters, everything is just on another level. That Tomb Raider, although a very super awesome game, is not, in my opinion, on that level yet. It could be, but it's not. So yeah, that's my introduction to that topic. So Sam, you can ask whatever you like now.
Sure.
And then we can compare the two new games that are going to come out.
Okay, just a couple of things though with the Uncharted, since I've never played it. Well, see, the thing about with them, speaking of which, you played this one here, Underworld.
Yeah, Underworld. Yeah, definitely play that.
I cannot find the other Tomb Raider one, the one that they have the definitive edition, the one that I'm playing now. I have it on 360 that I got from Best Buy. It was like an exclusive thing. It came with some kind of AVX outfit or something, and then I downloaded it free on my Xbox One. But anyways, see, in the Tomb Raider series, especially it becomes apparent in the definitive edition one, the reboot, and it looks like it's going to be so in Rise of the Tomb Raider. She's doing a lot of exploration in the jungle and going into tombs and catacombs and stuff like that. Does Nathan Drake do that? Is he like a Tomb Raider as well, or is he more of just like on a treasure hunt, like around, like how can I put this? Just going around like buildings and stuff like that, or does he actually go into the jungle?
Yeah, so actually, at the first game, you start first at the boat in the middle of the ocean, which was awesome, and then you get to the jungle actually, and you can go around and pick up trophies on the way. Then you go to a particular like a cave, a temple under the ground. I mean, in the first game, so. You can call it actually a puzzle type of game, because you have to figure out how to interact with the environment in order to get through the objective and to find this. But it's all connected to the story, and everything that you do has a meaning, and it's awesome, and you have to figure it out. So it takes thinking, just like Tomb Raider games, but more like the older Tomb Raider games, where you're in the temples and you have to figure out how to do certain things to level the water and all those things to get through. It's something similar with Uncharted, but done in a different way. You have to step on different things to open certain stuff. Yeah, so and different people are involved. They're chasing you because they want the same things. And Drake himself, he has a history with his ancestor, Sir Francis Drake, that was some kind of a explorer, I think. I'm not really sure. Yeah, so similar, but as I said, it is its own thing, Uncharted. So it's very unique in its own way. It's super interesting when you get into it.
So, and forgive me to say this, but for saying this, but you don't consider him an Indiana Jones ripoff or anything like that, right?
Oh, absolutely not. This is one of the things that is awesome about Uncharted, that as well as the way that it's different from Tomb Raider, is also different from Indiana Jones in a big way. So you can have the three of them, and it's going to be awesome.
Wow, to be like completely different kind of characters.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I remember with the old Indiana Jones PC games, I think it's put out by Sierra, I could be wrong, on the PC, totally different kind of games. It's strictly puzzle solving. You know, there's no action like how this was. And I got to tell you, that footage you shared with me of Uncharted. Well, first I'll get to the Uncharted 4. I believe it was 4. Not the Nathan Drake collection. I'll get to that in a moment. What I saw, which was magnificent. I got to report. But the footage I saw was, it looked as if it was mostly like in a Jeep, and they're getting away, driving through the city, crashing through like the carts in the market, and then this tank and other like motorcycles and vehicles were chasing Nathan and some other guy. There were moments when he got out of the Jeep, I believe, and he was under fire. This might have been how it started off, actually. It started off not in the Jeep. He was just in a firefight with people with his machine gun. And I got to tell you, it looks like there is a lot more action, you know, at least maybe that sequence. But Tomb Raider has action too, you know, quite a bit. But it just seems like it just felt like there's more action. It felt more like an action film. That's the first thing I thought when it popped in my head when I saw that footage. The way the camera angles were and the way the action took place, and with the machine gun and everything, it seriously looked like an action flick. You know, and then it led to him jumping into the Jeep, and then the whole thing, you know, getting away. Just absolutely fantastic. And now, Nathan, I take it, I didn't see too much in the ways of like an inventory, but I take it it's, you know, with like Tomb Raider, okay, like with the definitive edition, you go into a thing and then you have the inventory and you swap out weapons and everything and you level up. You have skills that you level up. Is that pretty much similar to Uncharted? Does it have like a level up system like that, or is it more of like how the very first Tomb Raider was, where you don't really level up, you just have an inventory and you can just swap out your guns?
Yeah, actually, you brought out two very interesting points here. The first thing is the action. Yeah, the action in Uncharted is a lot more. Is exactly like an action movie with a very, very good story. So scenes like this are throughout all the games, and they just reach a new level with Uncharted 4, because this is just mind-blowing what they did in these scenes, as you saw. So Uncharted is more action-driven as well as story-driven. As well as you see the cutscenes, you get to be right into the huge big action. And you can never see an action like this. As for the upgrade stuff, it has nothing to do with Tomb Raider. You pretty much have weapons depending on which guy you took them from. Like a weapon is on the ground, you can take that and use it. You can have up to 2 weapons, at least for the first 3 games, as well as grenades. And pretty much you can you can jump directly onto a guy, kick him, and take his weapon. As you hitting him in the face. Oh boy, yeah. And so it's totally different in that way. I don't know if they're going to upgrade that in Uncharted 4, but for now, it's like this, basically. You don't level up. Okay.
Unlike with the Tomb Raider, you go to a campfire, or at least in this the latest Tomb Raider, and it seems like in the Rise of the Tomb Raider, you go into a camp, and then you have like a skill point, and then you put it into your skills. You don't do that in the Uncharted. You're just the character of like equipment and inventory management and stuff like that.
Nope, you don't have any inventory, any equipment.
You don't have any. Okay, you don't have any. So just like what you said, you hit a guy, grab his weapon, move on, take another weapon if you want.
Yeah, exactly. Take a grenade.
Really? So I can't collect like a few weapons at a time. If I want to switch weapons, I have to drop the other one and grab another one.
Even no, like you can carry 2 weapons at a time.
Oh, 2 weapons at a time. But that's...
Yeah, you can pick them up from like you're on the market and you see a weapon like on a shelf or something. You can pick up that like semi-automatic and a gun. So yeah, also a shotgun, but you can have only two. So you can have either a gun, a shotgun, or a gun or semi-automatic, basically.
I gotcha. You know what? So it's more of I kind of like that too. It is. You are so right. It is so different from the way how and I'm going to use this to represent Tomb Raider, even though I'm comparing it more with not this one and the older Tomb Raiders. I'm comparing the Uncharted series because it's more of the thing that came out during the time of, I guess. Well, I guess it started with this. When this came out, it was Uncharted, right?
It was 2007 when Uncharted started.
Okay, when does this one come out? Sure. I have no idea, but
yeah, I think it was around 2007.
This one too? Okay. But I equate Uncharted more on par with something like the reboot of Tomb Raider, and then Rise of the Tomb Raider, where it was kind of went backwards, how she, became Tomb Raider. It seems like it's more in that level, graphically, action-wise too. I like how seemingly with both games, Uncharted and Tomb Raider, like I said, I'm just using this to represent Tomb Raider, not necessarily this game. The cutscenes and the action kind of blend into one. It doesn't have a separate cutscene and then it cuts back to the gameplay and then a cutscene and cuts back to the gameplay. It's a cutscene, and before you know it, you have control of your character. And I'm guessing that's very similar, or how it is done in the Uncharted series. And I have to say, it's almost looking as if the new Tomb Raiders, Tomb Raider Definitive, Rise of the Tomb Raider, kind of took that from Uncharted. Am I correct, or?
Well, actually, Uncharted was one of the first games that ever did that with the cutscene. I can't speak right now. I can't speak English today. Okay. Without any effort, transfer into the gameplay. Okay, let's say it that way. Okay. And also Uncharted was, I think, the first game that did like super interactive environments, like running, the grounding's starting to shake underneath you, everything is crashing down and you're running and all those things. I think that Uncharted 2 did some of those type of gameplay first. At least that's how I know from some documentaries and all that. But we have to make very interesting point. I mean, we have to point this out that the biggest difference in terms of fighting mechanics and gameplay is that you can fight with Drake. I mean, you can use his fists, he can kick, punch, jump on guys, beat them up pretty good, smash them into different things like frying pans if you're in a kitchen or anything else. Where Lara can't do that. She can do some takedowns, but that's it. And that always bothered me. I mean, make her fight.
Make her fight. I'll tell you. I'm armed with my bow. I got my pistol. I even have now, it's like a World War II submachine gun. Okay, that's great. It's wonderful. But you know what? Sometimes they're so close and it takes a while to aim. I don't want to blast them. I just want to hit them. I just want to start, punching them. Give me a knife, and so I can, they have knives sometimes, and they swing at you. I want to be able to like go back and fight back with a knife too. Sometimes, not always with the gunplay, as cool as it may be. And of course, Lara Croft and her signature dual wielding of the pistols. She's not so much doing that in Tomb Raider Definitive, and I don't know how much she's going to be doing it, if at all, in Rise of the Tomb Raider. At least the footage that I've seen, it looks like she's still with the single pistol, and she has, I think it's called Molotov bombs or something. It's you take a bottle and a thing, and you mix like alcohol and you whip it. It's like a kind of like a homemade bomb.
That's the Russian thing.
The Russian thing, yeah, Molotov. That's it. It's a Russian thing. That's it. And the footage I saw, the guy just got kind of cornered, and the only thing he can do is kind of roll around his opponent. He couldn't, and kind of get some distance to shoot him, but he couldn't punch. She could not punch him or kick him or anything. Whereas it's looking like with Nathan Drake, it's all just kinetic and instantaneous. You whip out a gun, things are close, you could just instantly start getting to melee combat.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Something Tomb Raider is lacking. I
Yeah,
gotta.
that doesn't make any sense because when she's going to such a hostile environment, she has to take at least some self-defense classes, like a military training or something, because
Right.
she is doing military stuff like soldier on the field. She doesn't have any close combat training or anything, which is silly. She's always counting on her bow or her other skills, but that's not enough just in
From
those
what I
kind of environments.
from what I understand from the first Tomb Raider, the one that I'm doing, Definitive Edition, um, I keep bringing that up so people don't think I'm talking about the 1996 one, like a reboot. Okay, isn't it that she was just an archaeologist or a student of archaeology, not really a soldier of any sort, and she was shipwrecked onto this island, kind of,
Yeah, that is true for the first game, but now for the second game, I think that they should put that into the game right now because she knows what she's doing. She's not there by accident,
yeah.
so she knows why she's going there. So she just has to take some training.
I gotcha.
It's only logical.
Now here's the thing. I'm wondering if she did do it, and maybe you might see that, but the problem is it's on the game developer's part that they didn't include that ability to do it. That would suck. You know what I mean? Like, you're seeing that she can fight and she's well trained, but maybe just due to the game design, which is bad design, by the way, they didn't allow it because they wanted to kind of stick to it like how they had it with the Definitive Edition, where, it looked very similar to me, how he's dodging and rolling out of the fight. Can't hit the guy, the way the aiming is, and the throwing, how it has that arc, before you throw something. Yeah, all that is like very similar. It seemed like they're kind of sticking to that similar format of the controls and how it is. Maybe she can fight, and the developers just were lazy and didn't want to include that, or maybe they, like you said, maybe she just. They forgot to integrate that into the story, and they make it so like she cannot fight yet, which I think is both ways. It's just a bad idea. They should integrate some kind of close range combat. Even going back to the 2000 or 2001 and 2002 with the Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie playing Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I always thought that she was so weak. I mean, not like a superhero like Xena, but like super weak. She was like somebody just slaps her across the face. I think it was in the second movie or the first movie when she was in a tomb, like a Chinese tomb with a lot of statues, and she was like, "Oh my God!"
I remember that. Yeah,
too weak.
They were trying. I guess they were trying to force her into a situation, and they maybe did it kind of lazily, and said, okay, we'll slap her and knock her out. She'll wake up to get her into this situation, and then she became a badass all of a sudden, stepping on the statues' heads. But yeah, getting back to with the game, yeah, that is a major negative on the Tomb Raider franchise. I mean, okay, that's understandable. Games like this, literally this one and the ones before it. It's just mostly with her and her guns. You could be point blank to a guy and still shoot them. There's really no need to punch. It was just the nature of the game. It was more of like a shooting third-person shooter platformer. But in here, they're giving you more of a cinematic experience. It would make sense for her to be able to, go into melee combat, wield a knife. There's a point in the game where I got I don't even know what the hell that is, but like a hook thing that I can use to pry open the doors and to the left, and I climb with it. I forgot what they call it, like the pickaxing, and I have to upgrade it. Come on, let me be able to hit people with it. Okay,
yeah.
For the love of God, okay? I have. I'm rolling around and I have these weapons on my back, the melee stuff, and I can't do that. I have to run away. And if you watch those Let's Plays that I was doing, and I'm pretty sure anyone's Let's Plays, it's gonna look awkward. It's gonna you'll be wondering, you're trying to forcibly get back to shoot instead of simply like punching them. I know she has one thing where she kind of can push them back when you hit the Y button, and then you kind of push them. But then that's the extent of it. You're pushing them so you can go ahead and continue to shoot them.
Yeah, but they can grab you and hit you and all that.
Exactly. They have more melee capabilities to you that they can do to you than you can do to them.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, especially in this day and age with games and all that. So I'm super excited about the new game, but at least in the third game, please put that in the game. Melee combat, military training, roll out the MMA stuff, do that.
Yeah,
it's only logical.
Now, it's not going to make me hate the game. I still absolutely love the Tomb Raider Definitive. I still got to say, it's that melee thing that does kind of ruin it a little bit. Rise of the Tomb Raider, still excited. But I got to be honest with you. After seeing the footage I have seen and knowing the things now that, some of the stuff that you've just told me about it, and the story, I want to touch up on the story of what the Uncharted story is, because Tomb Raider is pretty straightforward with the story. I got to know a little bit more of what the Nathan Drake story is, and I'm pretty sure you can fill me in on that. But the action seems like is where it's at for a more full and more realistic combat, not just with the gunplay and stuff like that. The gunplay maybe might be comparable. I don't know. If you have to check out the Uncharted, that can better compare. But when it comes to the full overall experience of combat, it's definitely got to go to Uncharted because of the melee, being able to jump on your opponents, take their weapon and all that, like what you pointed out. Just great stuff. I unfortunately don't have a PlayStation 4 yet. I'm hoping for Black Friday. I'm going to get one. And, hey, I got to tell you.
Keep my fingers crossed for that. It's going to be amazing.
I'm getting it because of Uncharted. Because of Uncharted, Nathan Drake collection, and because of Uncharted 4. And Uncharted 4 comes out next year, but the Nathan Drake collection, that's coming out a lot sooner, isn't it? Like this year?
I think in some days now, some people already got it to review it.
Wow.
Lucky them. So it's going to be very, very soon. I'm really hoping that Angry Joe gets it because he never played Uncharted. He didn't have a PS3. He's going to flip out. I mean, I'm sure that he's going to be super impressed because he did love The Last of Us. And, you just have to get The Last of Us as well. Because, those two franchises are masterpieces.
Wow.
And you like horror stuff, and I don't, but I super liked The Last of Us. It's so original because it's not, they're not like zombies, and it's based on a real thing, that fungus that is growing out of their heads. Okay, I'm not changing the subject here. We're talking about Lara Croft and Uncharted,
Hey, we'll be able, in future ones, we'll be able to discuss more about those games like Last of Us, Until Dawn. Yeah, the horror franchise, the horror survival franchise, that will make a good topic for the future.
Yeah, but I mean that The Last of Us is on another level, like every other Naughty Dog game. At least, I mean, they only have Uncharted and this game, but they put all their efforts and talent in them. So, total masterpiece. I'm sure that you'll love it. And Angry Joe, if you watched, he made a review of The Last of Us, and he was like ecstatic. He gave it a 10 out of 10, I think, and a badass seal of approval. So I'm super excited. If I'm super wishing that he buys the Uncharted collection and reviews that. It's my dream. One of my dreams.
Hell yeah! Well, I want you to get Uncharted. For me, my dream is, to see him do that. That's great. But to also see you review it. Uncharted, Nathan Drake collection, Uncharted 4, and not only that, but your gameplay footage, your little mini Let's Play videos that you put out are the absolute tops. I got to report. I have a blast watching them. They're very informative. They're very fun. And even when it's like a first time kind of playthrough with your reaction, like with the Mad Max thing, how you discovered things for the first time, and it was kind of cool. I like that. It's very natural. Sometimes the first time experiences and the blind playthroughs are some of the best. I gotta report it.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's not talk about me again.
Sorry. But anyways, I still threw in the Uncharted in there. So let me think here. So I know that Rise of the Tomb Raider comes out November 10th, okay, which kind of conflicts with Fallout 4, and that's fine. It's okay. I'm going to get both now that I know Rise of the Tomb Raider comes out that same date.
Well, I have the upper hand, Sammy, because I won't be able to see the new Tomb Raider game like at least, I think it's March or February. I'm not sure when the game is going to come out on PC because, it's a time exclusive for the Xbox. So you're going to get it and not be able to see the game at all for like a half a year. So that sucks.
But so eventually it will be coming out for PS4.
Oh, no, not for PS4. For PS4, it's like 1 year away and something. Like next Christmas for
Really?
PS4. Yeah, we are so screwed on the PS4, but I will get it for PC. Which is going to be after like 6 months or 5 months.
This is just not fair, man. At least you guys are going to get Tomb Raider on the PS4, because if PlayStation can get the Tomb Raider games, Xbox needs to get the Uncharted games, I wish.
Oh no, that will never happen. Naughty Dog is a Sony company. It's absolutely their own company. That will never happen. But what Microsoft did with Tomb Raider is a total, the word bull, ... because you don't take an already established franchise that everybody loves and make it a time exclusive so we can torture ourselves. I'm not going to buy an Xbox One just for Tomb Raider. Okay, that's ridiculous. They're not going to make me do that. So why make it a time exclusive? Just make your own games. Think about something and create that, because Sony at least creates their own games and makes them a total exclusives and all that. And if Microsoft wants to be competitive and do some great games, just make your own thing. Don't take something from us and use it to torture us, because no one will get an Xbox for the Tomb Raider just to play it, to get to play it for a few months earlier than the PC. And yeah, so that was a ridiculous move on Microsoft, I think. I was super disappointed when I heard about this. But I will wait. I will not going to buy an Xbox One, and I will wait. And that's that.
Well, I will be getting a PS4 because of Uncharted, though.
Yeah, but Uncharted is a few levels up, and you're going to see that,
plus,
definitely.
Wow, God. Okay, yeah. I'm almost thinking about actually picking up the Nathan Drake collection even before I get an Xbox, or not an Xbox, a PlayStation 4. When does the Nathan Drake collection come out? Do you happen to know?
I have to check, but as I said, it's really, really soon. Like these weeks, have to check right now, actually.
Before November. Because I might just pick it up just to have it, and I don't have to worry about it. And then once I get PlayStation 4, which I'm pretty sure is going to be in a bundle, I know that there's a...
Okay, it's October 9th.
October, so that's like next Friday. Wow.
Yeah.
What's the price?
As I said, it's very soon. Well, it's $59.96 on Amazon, but I'm sure you can find it cheaper.
You're getting all those games though too, and it's all remastered. That's well worth it, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll be grabbing that for sure. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the combat. Now I do gotta say, because you have played Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, the reboot, right?
Oh yeah, it was so long ago I forgot.
But can you recall how the gunplay is compared to the Uncharted? Is it comparable, or is one slightly better than the other? Does one have a slighter edge over the other, or is pretty much similar?
No, it's different. It's not the same. Yeah, I think that it's more like that the Tomb Raider is similar to Uncharted. in terms of gun shooting, but Tomb Raider has a bow, which is always super awesome, which Uncharted doesn't have. So this is a slight edge over Uncharted, because yeah, I love bow. I love to have a bow and shoot with a bow. But that's pretty much it.
And I would have to say maybe the slight edge goes also to Tomb Raider with the inventory system, being able to carry more than just 2 weapons. That's kind of cool. You know, I had a submachine gun, a pistol, and my bow all at once so far. I don't know what the maximum is. If I'm able to carry more weapons, like how it was in the original 1996 Tomb Raiders, you can have like a plethora of weapons, shotguns, submachine guns, machine guns, your pistols, which never run out of bullets, by the way. So I don't know what's the extent of how many weapons I can carry, or Lara can carry versus the 2. Do you happen to know if there's a limit?
Well, I think it's a bow, a gun, and yeah, I'm not sure that you can carry more. I mean, one has to be the main weapon, or maybe you can also carry a machine gun, but
yeah.
Not really sure about that. Not really sure about grenades either. But they're trying to make Tomb Raider like an RPG, especially the new game, because you're going to explore. It's not going to be so linear. You get to you could go to some caves and explore them. You can take additional quests from people that you meet. So this is like The Witcher now, like The Witcher 3 or something. It's very different, and in Uncharted you don't need that. The stories and how everything is made and how everything it's created, you just don't need a system like that. It's totally different world and story. So both systems are good for I can't speak English today. For every game.
It's no problem. You mean to say like both games are both good on its respective platforms? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But it's late. I had a pretty big headache actually, just before we started, and I had to took a pill because
Yeah.
It's late.
Want to show your Snoopy shirt?
Yeah,
right?
Snoopy shirt.
And I know you can't see mine, but here, maybe if what is this?
Snoopy.
My Infinity Gauntlet shirt. I've worn this before. You got like
the Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer.
Iron Man.
You got Iron Man here.
That other guy, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the Silver Surfer, but I can't see the other guy.
Warlock is on here. There's Beta Ray Bill. It goes all the way down here. There's Spider-Man. This is the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, that's cool.
I have the comic.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
I wish we have such T-shirts here, but we don't. I have to make them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got a lot of these Marvel shirts, but I do want to get more. I've seen some actually at stores that I want to pick up later. Hell, I'll get an Uncharted T-shirt as well as a Tomb Raider T-shirt. Maybe make a custom one, have on the front either Tomb Raider or Uncharted, and on the back be Tomb Raider or Uncharted. So you have one of each. Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome idea. I have to make those.
Yeah, so that would be fantastic, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, when it comes to storytelling, I'm not too sure exactly. Okay, from what I gathered, and maybe you can fill in the pieces, from that the Nathan Drake collection, it looks like he started off as a boy, some kind of swindler, which is like a thief kind of character, kind of takes him under his wing and kind of raises him and teaches him the trade. Thus, he grows up and becomes this guy, this Tomb Raider. Exploring and taking on quests and adventures. That's all I got from it. What is there? Is there like each iteration of the franchise? First Uncharted, second, third. Does it all follow one great big story arc, or is it all its own? Each one has its own thing, and do you forget you don't have to worry about the second. You don't have to worry about the previous games, or do all the stories somehow connect in some way?
Yeah, well, they connect in a way, but when we first start with the first game, we just get introduced to Drake and his quest to find more about his ancestors or Nathan Drake. Uh, I haven't played the game for like many years now, so I don't remember every detail, but that scene with the kid, if you saw that with the little Nathan Drake, that
Yeah.
was from the last game. For the third game, they just show you how Nate and Sully met. The Sully is the older guy that takes him under his wing and teaches him the ropes and all that. So in terms of story, every game is like its own movie, like Star Wars, but not exactly. I mean, it has his own story, like actually like Indiana Jones movies in a way. Yeah, it has some connections, but every game it's its own story and a different quest to find particular things.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and the characters are pretty much the same. He has one girl, like a girlfriend, one other girlfriend. One of the girlfriends becomes his wife, and now we are going to see how their relationship uh, is grown or is
Yeah.
over in the next game. So yeah.
It looked like, from what I seen, I think it was the fourth one. At the end, it ended with the girl turning around and they knew each other.
Yeah, that was his wife.
That was his wife. Wow. Okay.
I think that they got married, I think.
Very interesting. Now, I don't want to go back too far with the Tomb Raider franchise, because those stories seem to just be its own thing. You know, how I'm talking about the old pixelated ones. When I refer to Tomb Raider, I'm just going to start from the Tomb Raider Definitive and up. So I can't really say too much how the stories are going to connect. We're going to find out with Rise, but it looks as if it's all part of canon. You know, of course it is, but they're kind of continuing and remembering the events from the first Tomb Raider Definitive Edition reboot, the whole experience of being on the island and her killing people, and coming into Rise of the Tomb Raider. It seems like it connects. You know what I mean? The games connect, like story-wise.
Yeah, of course, because we get to see Lara damn it, yeah, we get to see her develop.
Yes.
Because we got to see how she became this person, and now she's continuing to grow. So yeah, it's a different approach, and that is also what is great, because you can enjoy one franchise and the other franchise, and they both have something to offer. Although, like I said, Uncharted for me is on a different level, but Tomb Raider is one of the best things that you can experience and play still. So a total love for both games, and both games have a lot to offer, and they're unique in their own way. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have to say that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say which is totally better than the others, especially because I haven't played the Uncharted, but just going by their characters, I can almost tell the differences in the characters of Nathan Drake and Lara Croft, of course, getting past the fact that, you know, one's male, one's female. But as a personality-wise, Nathan Drake kind of reminds me of, and I could be wrong, like a little bit of like a Han Solo, a Prince of Thieves, or King of Thieves from, you know, like Autolycus from Xena, has almost like a slight kind of personality like that, versus the way they're making Lara Croft in here. She's gradually becoming this hardened warrior, like in the first one, driven to kill, and being forced into this situation and getting like a tough kind of having to have like a thick skin, so to speak, and become tough because of the situation she is thrown in, you know, being trapped on this island, people trying to kill her, at the same time trying to you know, do her thing of finding the artifacts and stuff like that. And in the second one, she really just totally comes into what she's kind of born to do. And the events of the first one make her tough. She's more, I'd have to say, more savage. Would you what do you think about that? Like she's more savage, more brutal in terms of her personality, more meaner and tougher, battle hardened, I should say, versus Nathan Drake. He seems like he has more of like an Indiana Jones and Han Solo and Autolycus type of personality. I may get that wrong because I don't know too much about what Nathan Drake is like.
Well, you're very close. You're very close, Sammy, because Nathan Drake has that ongoing, you can say, personality that he's very like takes everything with a sense of humor. In the same time, he can fight. He's a badass. He's a smart guy, and he has company in Sully. So that's also the difference because he almost always has Sully on his side, solving puzzles, finding stuff. So it's a lot different, but I wouldn't call it exactly Laura mean. And I mean, she's very tough. She is not mean. I think she has to be tough because of the situation, because if she doesn't kill, she's going to get killed. But she's got a very nice personality. So she's a very nice girl overall.
I'm gonna say mean, not mean like a bitch kind of character. When people come talk to her, what do you want? Not like that. More of tough. Like
an outie character.
Yeah. No, not yeah.
What do you want?
What do you want? Not quite like that. More like Xena. See how Xena, she's nice, but then she does what she has to do.
No. She has nothing to do with Xena.
No, okay.
Nothing to do with Xena.
Okay, maybe it was a bad example. I guess, okay. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's say that. Maybe that type of a personality where she's
more like Buffy,
more like Buffy. Mean when she has to be when it comes to like her enemies. Like she has no mercy necessarily. She'll kill. But in a way.
But she doesn't like it. I mean, she does everything with like, okay, now I'm going to kill that guy. Okay, she doesn't really feel it. She just has to do it, and she does it.
But I'm getting the feeling for Rise of the Tomb Raider might be different. Maybe she's got. I know what you mean, because when she had to kill this one guy, there's a part in the definitive edition when I'm LPing. You have to do some timed presses of like the X and the Y, and one thing you gotta do one of these. Okay, this is the controller. You have to do this with the controller, like wiggle it left and right, and then it makes the gun. You're struggling for the gun, and then you push the trigger, and it hits the guy in the head, and she killed him. I was cracking up, and she was
very disgusting.
She felt sick. But I think in Rise, I'm predicting in Rise, she's just gonna kill indiscriminately and no fear. She's just gonna like, please, no, don't kill me, don't kill me. Like, and go away. That's what I'm predicting. I could be wrong. I think that would be very cool.
Yeah, well, she looks like she's a very sensitive person, so I don't see her becoming that cold-blooded killer yet. So for now,
the bad guys,
I think that they're going to make her stay in that state of mind. Like she's nice, she's very nice, and she just has to kill to survive and to do all those things. And she knows that those guys are going to kill her, so she's going to do whatever it takes. So she's determined like that. But she's not taking any enjoyment out of it or drive to do it. She just has to do it. Something like that, at least for now, what I'm getting from the newer games, for the two new games.
I gotcha.
And of course, we're going to see that when we play the new game, but mostly you have to fill me in because, as I said, you're going to get the game much earlier than I am. So, yeah, you have to tell me and let me know.
Hey, when I LP it, because you know I will. God willing, I'll finish the definitive edition before that comes out, and most likely will. I take it you're going to watch my Let's Plays?
Of course. Can't wait.
Great. Thank you. Cool. And Fallout 4, I'll be doing that. I'll be juggling the two of the games. I guess like Buffy the Vampire Slayer is the closest analogy to what her personality might be, because Buffy can be a little soft at times too, and yeah. Now, when it gets
Very
down to
soft.
graph.
Very soft. Very soft.
Very
It's
soft.
just annoying at times. Because I've
Buffy?
watched Buffy. Yeah, I watched Buffy, and she could be very annoying sometimes by her way of thinking and deciding things, and like Zandler, I think it was his name, I'm not sure. He has to, and the other guys have to save her ass and all that. And that other girl, what was her name?
Willow? The witch?
No, not her. The Bat
Anya?
Slayer.
The Bachelor, Faith. She's tough.
Faith. Yeah, she's amazing. I love Eliza Dushku. She's just awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she took Buffy to her limit and kick her ass and show her that are some other things that she has to consider. And Buffy was always like, yeah, I'm going to protect everything, and bam, she kicks her in the head or something. So yeah, Buffy was always too weak to me, although I liked the show and watched it.
She did toughen up, though, in the 7th season, the last season, when she was gathering all the Slayers. She did toughen up.
Yeah, I don't remember that exactly. I missed some episodes because I kind of got bored of the show and stopped watching, and then I watched the finale, and I saw that Fate was there and all that, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. That was cool.
I love it like Z.
What?
But yeah. And by the way, in the final season of Buffy, the 7th one, I'm pretty sure you know who Felicia Day is. She starred. She kind of was a semi-regular on that show. She played Vi, and she was a Slayer potential. So shout out to you, Felicia. Not that you all care or watch this. You're too famous of a person. You're basically a celebrity. You are a celebrity. So there you go. Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, did you know, sorry to interrupt you, Sami, but I just thought of that. Did you know that actually Joss Whedon said that he created Fate and Buffy, their relationship, by watching Xena and Callisto relationship? So he wanted to do something similar to that because he was a Xena fan. He wanted to create similar emotions and relationships. Okay. So he created Fate and all those things, and as you know, he switched their bodies exactly like in Xena and with Xena and Callisto, but he never got to this level of emotion and impact like in Xena. He tried really hard, but he couldn't do it. It was like a cheap copy and paste thing, but not really going to that level. It was very interesting to watch. It was entertaining, but not on that level. He was trying too hard to convey emotion sometimes in all of the show. But once again, we're getting out of topic because we're getting into other interesting topics.
Hey, that would be another. These are for future ones. Xena, like a Xena versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer type of thing. When we say versus, in a friendly versus, not like, oh, no, Xena's better, Buffy's better. Not that type of thing. Just like a comparison. But we put versus as in short instead of putting comparison. Anyways, graphically between the new Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider versus the Nathan Drake series, from what I've seen of Uncharted, it looks remarkable, the graphics, just exquisite. But I got a report, too, from playing Definitive Edition and seeing the footage from Rise, which looks like it takes it a step further in terms of the foliage and stuff like that, and just the environments and the sky. Beautiful, and the detail in the rocks and how they make it look like there's like real depth to them. The environments have like a different look to them, and it's pretty comparable to me. What do you think about that?
That's amazing thing to talk about, Sami. I'm super glad that you brought that up because graphics is one of the things that Uncharted games are famous for also, because they have their own engine. They created that engine. And the interesting thing with that engine is that everything looks very thick, like it has substance to it. It's like a carton box of milk. You see that it's very thick, and the textures are better. They make everything look more realistic, that and like 3D, like you can touch it and feel it, that like when you see a wall and a rock and a wall to a particular building, you kind of feel that you can touch that and really feel it. You can feel it with your eyes. It has that 3D effect, depth of field. It was it's just amazing. I mean, I've never seen better graphics from what I saw from Uncharted, especially 3, because 3 is the best, and it pushed the PS3 to its limits. And now they even made everything look even better. And with Tomb Raider, yes, it has amazing graphics, but it's not so thick. The textures are not so good of a textures, you know, like when she shot that guy in the face and he was on the ground and his face was messed up and all that. You can see how there's not pixels, but there's some textures that are kind of stretched out and blurry, not really detailing his face and muscles that got messed up. And you can't see anything like that in Uncharted. In Uncharted, everything is perfect. Whatever you see, a wall, you can like, for instance, Drake can move like in very tiny spaces, just like Lara can, like when she's trying to you know go through a gap. And you can see the same thing in Uncharted. And when you see that wall just going forwards into the camera, you can see the texture on the wall, and it shines, and it's all the right light and all the right everything. And like when you saw that market scene from Uncharted 4, you can see how the light of the daylight, I mean, is so realistic, how everything is falling onto the objects, on the people. So they... Once again, Naughty Dog can take this to another level, and with The Last of Us game, they took that even further and further. You can see still one of the best graphics created today with The Last of Us. And facial animations, there's nothing more expressive than a Naughty Dog game when it comes to the facial animations. It's awesome. And they made like 100 or 1,600 more or something facial animation and muscle movement in Uncharted 4. So you're going to see this. I mean, we're going to see something. Some level. Totally even greater upper level of all that.
The next level to it, eh?
Yeah. So as much as you see the Tomb Raider, like overall, it looks great. It's not the same. It doesn't have that depth and that thickness and that feel, that textures and all that. And if you notice in the Uncharted 4 gameplay, when he shoots, when he jumps and all that, his t-shirt is like moving from the wind. You see the wind under his t-shirt. It's not like stick to his body. Like in all games, the clothes are like stick, like with the glue, like with GTA 5 or something. Yeah, so another level of everything.
I'm going to watch that footage again because I'm going to pay attention to that. I noticed the graphics. I was blown away by the graphics, of course, but I didn't pay attention to the subtle things on Drake himself. Now, I noticed things on the environments, as we were talking about, and I do understand, the depth. I saw that. I got to pay attention to the clothing because that's another level. I do notice, though, with Lara, the hair, her hair is fantastic. Whenever she, I'm like moving around, and you can see to that in the Let's Plays. I'm blown away because I got to say, since I've never played Uncharted, even with Tomb Raider, I'm still absolutely blown away by those graphics. No, the graphics, I can't detect anything so bad, but, I'll do that. Maybe I'll shoot a guy in the face and I'll go close to his face and look at it. But
no, don't do that. It's not necessary.
But her hair, you can see every strand of the hair, like realistically. Do you know what I mean? And like when it's wet, it looks like it's wet. Every strand. And I'm just thinking, Lara Croft and the Tomb Raider franchise have come a long way since the pixelated Eidos interactive ones from 95, 90, I think 96, and Tomb Raider 2. Those were just bled. They were all polygonal, and just very blocky looking and pixelated, as you put it. But at the time, okay, you know, everyone was getting excited for it. I remember, I think it was Tomb Raider 3 when that was first coming out, and on PlayStation 3, and it was an EB store, and I'm shopping there, and the boyfriend, girlfriend come into the store, and the boy goes and grabs it, you know, pretend this is the game, but it's not, didn't come like this. It's like a CD, but I don't have a CD with me close by. Oh, here, okay, fine. I'll use this. And because it's on PlayStation. He goes, oh, yes. And he's like, he grabs it and he's like looking at it, and I'm like, I know what he means, you know, because I'm a guy too. And the girl goes, all right, relax, relax. She's just a cartoon. She's just a cartoon. And this is when the graphics were all blocky and polygonal, and they didn't look like how they look now. And even then, he's still getting turned on by it, you know. So you can imagine, like now.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Yeah, you know, I'm just saying, you know, as a guy. So, you know, the graphics are beautiful, and Lara Croft looks beautiful. Her face and everything, the facial expressions are like, even when I'm just standing there and making subtle movements, she's always moving around, like her eyes moving, you know, and she's like either shivering, she's cold, and she's like moving around looking. I can just set the controller down, and she has some kind of movement, like some mannerisms and stuff like that just breathe life into her. And I say all this during the LP, especially the beginning ones, when I'm completely blown away. I did not know what to expect. It was my first time doing it. And the last Tomb Raider game I played seriously was Tomb Raider 3, was it? And I tried a little bit of, like I said, Angel of Darkness, which was, if you recognize that one, where she has like a dark eyeliner. They made her like a darker Lara Croft. It was on the PlayStation 2. I just played a little bit of it, and I didn't really like it. But Tomb Raider 3 was the last one that I seriously played, and that's during the polygonal days of Lara Croft when she was all pixelated. So for me to go to something like that, to the definitive edition and like Rise of the Tomb Raider, you can imagine how surprised and pleasantly surprised and pleased with the graphics.
And very impressed.
Very super impressed. Absolutely, yes. Now I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that same feeling with Uncharted, and I know my brother's going to be blown away by that as well. Because when he walked in, and he saw that Tomb Raider. He's like, "Whoa, this is unbelievable!" Like you can, it just looks like a freaking movie. It's like, that's a cutscene, right? I go, no, I'm playing it. Because that's the game. I go, yeah. I thought it was a cutscene. So that's going to be like that with Uncharted, I think.
Oh, it's going to be way better even. You're going to see the difference, because it's hard to make out the difference between the two when you haven't played it, but you're going to see a lot of differences, because as much as Tomb Raider is awesome now, how they made everything and all that you mentioned, Uncharted always takes it to another level. So you're going to definitely notice the difference. And of course, when you put the controller down, and Nathan Drake starts to rub his neck and things like that and all that. So
I love it. Little touches like that just show that they really truly paid unbelievable, criminally detailed attention to the game. It's unbelievable how they did that. I got to start for the.
And I have something funny actually to add about the movement, because you mentioned the hair. Those are the trace effects that I think AMD came out with those with the hair. But with Uncharted, you not only have the movement of the clothing, his pants, his shirt, and all that. You also have the movement of his chest hair, because they added that to the new game, and I was like, what?
Now, I know how you are with the chest hairs. I know you don't like that, because I remember you and Mark Ruffalo when the whole description with your Age of Ultron, he comes out with just a towel on, and he's absolutely hairy. Go watch that, guys. Watch that Age of
Ultron. Like a monkey, pretty much.
She doesn't like men with hair on them.
Yeah, it's not aesthetic for me. But my point is that they made his chest hair look, best possible. Although I can't really say that about chest hair, but it it blows in the wind. It actually blows in the wind.
I can see that being possible. Yeah, I mean, picture a guy with hair in his chest, and the wind can blow it. That makes sense. So that's real. That's
Yeah,
true.
because the wind goes through his shirt
Mm.
and through
Yeah.
his chest and all that. Of course, his hair on his head is also moving from the wind, but they also made the chest hair move, which is yeah, more than the
If he's
attention to
wearing
detail.
if he's wearing a shirt, how can you see the chest hair? Is it like maybe a V cut and you see the
Yeah,
hair that's
yeah, it's a
is
V
that
cut. Yeah.
a V cut? That's what it is. Okay, interesting. I'm just glad we don't see any chest hairs on Lara Croft. Okay,
Oh
that would be bad.
boy, you don't need
Okay.
to even think about that. I mean, why would you say that, Sammy?
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, right. I was gonna say too, when I get my PlayStation 4, I have a spot for it right over there because I'll may as well just move this and just show that there's my. Well, first of all, there's my Oblivion poster, the TV that I
Well,
played
that
on.
poster is cooler than the game, actually.
Wow! Oh, whoa! I
It's so
love
good.
Oblivion,
Yeah, but it's
and over
so
there,
awesome.
that table where the bag is on top is where I'm going to put my PlayStation 4. So I have it all set. It'll be
Awesome.
there, PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. Okay, and the Xbox One, Xbox. That's an old Xbox. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, I can because
Old
I
Xbox.
had one.
You have one, yeah. See, it's yeah. Ah, but you don't have an Xbox One. Okay.
I don't have an Xbox 360. I said I had one.
Oh, you
I
had.
had.
Oh, you had one.
Yeah, I had one.
Okay.
Well, Sammy, I think that is going to be enough for this topic. I mean, as a finish, I like to say that I love both franchise, both games. I can't pick and choose between the two of them. I mean, I will always love both franchises. I'm just saying that Naughty Dog always takes everything to a new level, and you're going to definitely see that if you play both franchises. So, if anyone just played Lara Croft, you can just give an opinion and really have an objective view on things because you just have to play all the Uncharted games to have one. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's amazingly anticipated, but I think that Uncharted 4 is going to come out at pretty much the same time when the Rise of Tomb Raider comes out for the PC. So I will have maybe the two games at the same time. That's a bit of a bummer in a way, but yeah, what to do.
And yeah, hence, when this whole discussion we're talking about, you notice too, I totally agree about being objective. Since I did not play Uncharted, I didn't immediately think like, well, nah, I didn't dismiss Uncharted because all the things that I've seen, I love all games and I'm always willing to give games a chance unless they're absolutely shit games and it's very bad, but it's not really the case nowadays. I didn't instantly just say, well, Tomb Raider is like one of my favorite franchises, and I love Lara Croft, so nothing beat that. Uncharted is not good; it sucks. You notice I'm not like that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love Uncharted just like I love Tomb Raider. And according to what I'm hearing, all this stuff that we've talked about, there's a chance I may like it just slightly more. Nothing against Tomb Raider. As far as I know right now, Tomb Raider is awesome. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. I absolutely love it. And all the things I've seen with Uncharted is just getting me excited to want to get my PlayStation 4 and to get the Nathan Drake collection and to get Uncharted 4. Did I say Uncharted 4? I meant the Nathan Drake collection and then Uncharted 4. And of course, Rise of the Tomb Raider when that drops November. So super excited for both. Okay, I'm not preferring one or the other. Not saying maybe I can prefer one over the other, but that's too later to come. But not putting one down at all. Not saying one's superior, super superior to the other one. The other one's like total crap. Not so much like that. Okay, so I guess we're going to close this off. I'm just going to say I'm Falagar, and I lately been doing a lot of Let's Play videos, hangouts, sometimes random hangouts where we're literally just hanging out. But doing stuff like this where we kind of make it like a show. And I think, Gary G is always professional and great in all her videos. I'm still getting there, so hopefully I'm getting better. And so, thank you. And, see this beautiful young lady right here, which is Gary G Reviews. If you don't know who she is, number one, for shame, head on over to Gary G Reviews, head on over to Gary. Stina GK, give her a sub. She's a gamer and a movie lover as well. And Gary?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sammy. I mean, you always pick the best words you can possibly use. So yeah, this is our first show, like a series, Game Talk, and maybe something else is coming out. We won't say what it is yet. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this topic. Please be objective in the comments, like I said, as much as possible. And of course, if you played both games, you can let us know what you think about both games, your pros and cons about the two games, and all that. We can have a healthy discussion without going crazy. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you guys for watching. Is it on me? Thank you guys for watching, and farewell.
Thank you, Sammy. Farewell. Best games for the best prices on g2a.com and citykeys.com.